Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This is Morgan Hill Lessons, Part 5. I was wise to not fight Kyle. I instead had gone to the office and called my parents, who called the principal and told them what happened. I merely wanted out of the school, and I wanted my father to help me plan my revenge, right? I felt like everyone had turned on me. I wanted out of there. I was feeling distraught from the technology. They had hit me with it, and they hit him with it as well, and Lord knows who else. Okay. It was not him who planned it, but other people thinking it is what he wanted when it comes to the revenge that occurs on Kyle, right? On top of the system are people who look up to Egyptian pharaohs and things of that nature, and I'm Christ, the King of Kings of all time. My parents had told me that the other shoe would drop on him, and it did. There's a significant Nigerian community in Oakland, and the most educated BGF members and people like that are fully aware that Nigeria is the African country that rings the loudest, and that a cultural icon must be backed up in the most respectable guerrilla army, right? Black guerrilla family first and foremost refers to guerrilla warfare. Okay, the most respectable guerrilla warfare army of all time basically was the Biafran army during the Nigerian Civil War. And most these people do a lot of prison research, while they're locked up, and they know that they're of Nigerian descent for the most part. Is I forgot the number. I used to say maybe about 1 million or 2 million people who came to America, black people, during the transatlantic slave trade, came from the coast of Nigeria, from some places we're very famous for it, like Calabar. I've read about it in several books, right? Fighting for Honor by T.J. Dushobi, and the Igbo relationship with the Europeans, kind of older books by now, but they're basically right. When I look at other sites as well, I see that their arguments are well founded. Okay. So Nigeria is the African country that the bill that rings the loudest, and that a cultural icon must be backed up at that time is what people were believing. Now it's more of a gang stalking state. Things have heated up. People can pull less strings, from what I gather. But what I see here, what I see here is disturbing. I mean, I see that historically, to some degree, people were telling me I'm not supposed to help you, and I didn't quite know what they were referring to. So historically, my ability to kind of be helped out was limited, but people have different belief systems and so on and so forth, so it plays out a certain way. Anyway, they worked behind the scenes, and I suspect that they had their hand in this, right, the BGF. Gangbanging has since transformed into something else. The government, out of jealousy and an inferiority complex, had planted older people to hassle me from time to time. I always came out on top, basically. By the time I was 17, I was the greatest martial artist ever, and they know this as I got in a car accident around that time. It's not a coincidence. My beef in Morgan Hill was not over. I would face the situation partially crippled from then on, around the time I'm 17 or so. Okay, in a rather cowardly way, they put an emphasis on helping white people be evil and avoid assaults, which was what the car accident was about. It was about some white girl who broke up with her boyfriend, Justin, who was either of Asian and white descent or Islander, Filipino and island descent or something. He was trying to mess with her, and her boyfriend caught wind, and he tried to get in a fight. I guess his girlfriend was holding Justin back when they got in some kind of fisticuffs, some kind of exchanging blows. And this isn't the only time the government interferes they have a way to interfere with the fights, believe it or not. It also affects professional boxing these days, what have you. And I'm pretty sure they were interfering with the sports games in general. Like this Arnold Rothstein, who rigged the World Series back in the day. They now use technology to rig things, A lot of people don't want me to say that, but I think that it's fair to say, and that what I'm talking about is more important than what they're trying to do, Okay, so I put, do they want them to wear a G-string, a 2? I would never take that route. So I would never, try to assist a people because they're the same race as me when they're in the wrong, in terms of the overall any overall racial clashes, right? The neo-colonialists, what have you. There's individual events that are more complicated than that. I never assist them behind the scenes. I never make it so they magically seem tougher or something. That's just not something I would do. You're better off keeping it real.